Okay, so hello. Thank you very much for your time today. I'm talking with Phoenix and the SilverVoodoos, if I'm not mistaken. So I have a whole band here, and luckily for me, it's only 3 persons because I had 6 persons before, and it's quite a lot to talk with people and all over with people. And you're in one room, which makes it easier too. So can you please introduce yourself, say who you are, what you do in the band, maybe give us a little bit of your musical background, and yeah. So go ahead. We have 2 ladies, so one of the ladies, please start.
I'll start. My name's Phoenix, and I'm the front woman for Phoenix and the SilverVoodoos. I write most of the material and play guitar and do vocals. Been playing music basically my whole life. Love to play music, love to write music. So that's what I do.
Okay, thank you.
You want to go next? Oh, you want me? Okay, I'm Linda King, and I play the drums in the band. I've been playing drums for about 6 years now, and this is my very first band, so I'm very excited about that.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
I'm Roland. Play guitar all my life.
Come in, yeah.
Major into electronics, retired electronics technician. So I do all the electronic work as well as play guitar. And I've been playing guitar pretty well all my life, so it's part of me.
Okay, so may I assume that Roland King and Linda King kind of are together?
Yeah, you can assume that.
You see, I'm quite good at this, right? Okay, so if I can count correctly, we have 2 guitar players and no bass player.
No.
Currently, I've been doing bass lines in the studio for the band.
Okay.
So when we go to studio, I'll do the bass. But live, we don't have a bass player right now.
I see.
But we're not doing too many live performances.
Yeah, okay. We can talk about this later, I guess. Where are you situated, guys? I don't really recall that. I skipped over your bio, but I forgot. I mean, you're in the United States, but where in the United States are you?
Oh, we're not in the United States. We're in Canada.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. You know why I thought United States? Because I saw there was a video with a Jim Beam contest or something, and for me, Jim Beam is kind of And sorry, the continent was right. Okay, so sorry. I'm really sorry. So where in Canada are you?
Right smack in the middle of the country.
Landlocked. We're in Saskatchewan.
It's Saskatchewan, okay. I lived for 2 years in Montreal, in Quebec, Quebecois, and I really loved it. I mean, Montreal, as we say.
Roland was born in Montreal.
Oh, so are you Francophone?
No.
Okay.
I'm an English Canadian born in Montreal.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, the only line I remember is "Merci pour votre collaboration." That's the line you always hear when you enter the metro or you get off the metro. Kind of stay back and and thank you for your collaboration when you stay back and okay, so
the Montreal metro.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved it there.
Toronto had to have one right after because Montreal got one.
Okay, so sorry. Sometimes when too many people talk, it's not easy audible. Okay, so you are in Saskatchewan. How do you say Saskatchewan? Is it right? Saskatchewan?
Yes.
Okay. And I assume you met there. I mean, you guys, the Kings, they met maybe somewhere else, but so how did this? Can you give me just a little backstory? How did this band come to pass? How did it happen?
Well, we all sort of had mutual people that we knew, and then ended up coming together. They let me, I was in a different band, and they hosted a band practice for the band I was in, and then had seen what I do with that band, and I guess it struck some interest to jamming with them. I don't know what I'll have to say.
So they stole you away, basically.
Yeah. Got interested in jamming with me, I guess, and so we started jamming.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Phoenix's music was great. Her songs were great. Her music was great, and I loved playing guitar to her rhythms and beats. So it went from there, and Linda got into drums, and we haven't really looked back. She has a wealth of material. It's amazing.
Okay, yeah, I heard. That's how I found you guys, of course, because I'm gonna play. I forgot the name of a song. I'm going to play. I just heard it. It's also on your website in my radio show. So, I'm always looking for material I like to play in my radio show. And here I liked that it was kind of a little bit rough around the edges, so to say. It was kind of garagey, kind of old goth. I don't know how to really. How would you? Maybe that's a good for the audience. How would you describe your music? I mean, I know I hate labels as much as you might do, but what kind of categories you think you fit in?
For me, as is with writing, I think like a lot of grunge stuff kind of pushed me to start writing, and the old goth 90s goth stuff. So there's some ties into that. So when people say they sounds grungy, it does make sense. Like it's just kind of the era I grew up in. So that probably comes out for me. But
to me, I'm rock, so it's indie rock or alternative rock. Because it still has that really rock vibe. So that's how I describe it.
And yeah, because I play guitar all my life, I've been playing all these different riffs and songs ad nauseum. I can relate to the music she's putting out and just add what my interpretation of it should be. So it all blends in together. So all three of us have our own thing, and it just comes together as one.
Yeah, it comes out as music.
As one musical score.
Incredible.
I'll bring rock riffs to her goth style, let's say.
No, I mean, this is in indie. Yeah, I guess that's. But for me, maybe it's also the name you chose. It makes it kind of for me, it kind of puts just in my mind, puts it in a certain thing. I have to admit, as I heard your name, because it's the first thing I read when I get new music, I read the name first. So I was like, this looks like rockabilly, gothabilly, kind of this music, and I don't mind, but it was different. It was not the same. So I mean, not what I expected, and that's a good thing, I was expecting something different, and I like to be, when you thwart the expectations of someone, and in music I like it at least, Sometimes it's not good if you want a certain meal and you get something completely else. Anyway, different topic. The question I have here is, how did you come up with the name of a band? I already got that she's called Phoenix. Phoenix, sorry. In English it's Phoenix. In German it's Phoenix. Phoenix. And so you are the SilverVoodoos. How do you come to the SilverVoodoos?
You go ahead.
I think everybody has a different story on what the SilverVoodoos means to them.
So I have to ask everyone, I guess, then. Give me your story, please.
Well, my story, SilverVoodoos, in my mind, are these old Royal Canadian Air Force fighter jets that I used to look at air shows in Montreal at St. Hubert Air Force Base when I was a kid. And these planes. They call them the Voodoos. And they
Okay.
were silver, and they go shooting through the air. So that's how I looked at it.
Okay.
Linda, how did you look at it?
I'm not going to disclose.
Sorry, can you repeat this? I couldn't get it.
I said I'm not going to disclose what it
Oh,
means
okay,
to me.
okay, good.
Other than the voodoo part, I found it quite magical that the three of us would be together and being able to create music. So that's the voodoo side of things. Yeah.
Hmm. So the magic, basically.
Correct. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. Got it.
And
Okay.
Your turn.
Your turn. We had some Voodoos
Yeah.
production.
I just wanted my band to be happy. They liked the SilverVoodoos, so I was like, let's do it. We could have been the Phoenix in the
I see. So you're kind of,
I don't know.
I see.
Go by me.
You're the band boss, and you just, as long as we're happy, that's fine. That's fine with
Yes.
me. I got it.
They're
I got it.
happy.
Okay. So you've write all the material, and and you are heavily influenced by grunge, you said. So what is your kind of what's your idols? What's the people or the music or the bands you look up to? What's your biggest
I think
influences?
my first idol as a writer of music was Kurt Cobain. I'm a Nirvana person.
Hmm.
So I liked his style of writing. I didn't really try to copy it or anything, but it definitely inspired my writing, and just that style of writing and that style of guitar playing really stuck out at me. I was a piano player when I found him,
Hmm.
but it made me want a guitar and stuff. So, and he taught himself. I was like, well, if Kurt Cobain can do it, I can do it, and stuff. So it really just kicked off that for me. So yeah, that's my main influence. And then through there, as I've gotten older, I've just found all sorts of inspirations in life to write about. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Okay, yeah, this is usually, I told you in the pre-talk we had, that's usually what I don't like in normal interviews, like, so what inspires you? Everything inspires you, life inspires you, everything what surrounds you inspires you, so it's a silly question if you really think about it, of course, but this is more like where you're coming from and what was your kind of what make you took up the guitar and stuff. And for myself, I can say, oh man, I remember the day he died. We were gathering and crying, and it was an awful day. Anyway, let's not dwell on this, but yeah, I'm also highly influenced. So Mrs. No, do you say Miss or Mrs.? I always get this wrong. Is it Mrs. King?
For
Or is
me, I call myself Ms. Foulwind.
Miss what?
That's my Twitter handle.
Miss
Foulwind.
Fallwind.
Foulwind.
Foul wind. Okay.
Foul.
Foul.
Like a bad wind.
Okay, I let it just stay like this. But you just learned the drums. You started 6 years ago, you said. So what was did you play any other instruments before that?
I'd have to say not really. I kind of played a few instruments in high school and stuff like that, but music was something that I always listened to.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't something that I played because both my brothers play guitar, and so I grew up listening to them play guitar. I listened to music. I enjoyed listening to music, and that's as far as it went. So I started playing drums because I wanted to have a common interest with Roland, moving throughout our lives. And because we've never really had a common interest. I was riding horseback and stuff like that, and I fell and broke my back. So I knew that would never be anything,
Mm-hmm.
I knew Roland wasn't into horses, and so my life with horses kind of ended there as well too. So I picked up the drums so that we could play together.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the story of that.
Okay, and how? The drums is not the easiest thing if you never played an instrument before. It's easy in a way because it's a rhythm thing. If you have a good metronome in your head, then everything works well. Oh, because otherwise it's not the easiest one because you use all your extremities to do things and stuff. So I mean, I don't have to tell you. Yeah. Anyway, kudos to you that you could do it. Cool. So and Roland. So what's your heroes, your idols, your inspirational bands?
Well, the funny thing is, my hero would be the guy across the street that was playing "You Are My Sunshine" on the guitar. That got me into the guitar before it became a popular thing. And you know, the Beatles came out, the Rolling Stones, and I was playing the guitar back then. Eh?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, so yeah, the guitar's been with me all my life. I remember my first amp was a Revere tape deck. Later found out that Richie Blackmore used a tape deck to get his tone too. I never knew that at the time. And yeah, in electronic world, you know, build my own amps, you know, work for the government tracking satellites is my job type of thing, and eventually retired. And I even had a little effects company building fuzz tones back in the early 90s.
Okay.
You know, before the big fuzz boom came out, you know how all of a sudden now there's fuzz boxes everywhere? There's zillions of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now today everything is kind of modded, and you know, you have a digital modeled stuff. So I mean, today it's really tough to. I think there's still a market for it, for people who love it, you know. So handcrafted. I know some guys who play. Even they imported even from Russia. They have some distortion stuff that they built. It's built like a tank, you know. It's really big clunky boxes, and they get it extra from there because they can do. I forgot the name, but it's maybe a common or known brand. And anyway, so there's still a market, but it's more niche, I guess, because most people, you know, they're living on a digital world right now. And so they take a digital motherboard, or no, how you say, you know, a multi board where multi effects boards and stuff. Where we can tweak it.
The Russians actually did a lot of research when the internet was booming. The Russians came on the internet and got into the do-it-yourself electronics and effects, and they had a wealth of material to trade with, you know, Europe and North America. On the internet with music. It's amazing. The internet kind of like brought music together from Russia and Europe and North America and the world, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this. Okay. You started around 2016, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this now it sounds almost like. There was a time before this pandemic, you know, where it was alive and you could play, you could go outside, you could hug people, you could kiss people in public. You know, there was this time back then. So how did you get your first gigs, and or when were you able to do your first gigs after you met?
Oh my goodness, our very first gig was in 2016 for Rock for Dimes, March for Dimes, and that was a charity event for kids and adults with disabilities. So that was our very first gig, was in 2016, March of 2016.
Yeah, we do that every year for that.
Except this year.
year. So in March 2016 already. So you formed in March, and then you already had a gig right away. You're quick.
Yeah, I was
You're really quick
around the edges, but I did it.
I guess so. In the video I saw on your website, you were entering a band contest from Jim Beam, where I got thrown off that it's, you know, I thought you were American, but you are not, of course. So anyway, what was your biggest gig so far? I mean, as there were still gigs out there.
Well, we had our EP release party in February 2020, just before everything closed down. And so we were just on the verge of, you know, we've got our sound, we've got our set, we're ready to go, and then everything closed down. So that was a big gig for us, was the EP release party. But the Jim Beam talent search was seen by so many people. And we really are so really grateful for them to have, said that, hey, come and enter our contest. We think that, you can enter this contest and be competitive. So I think that was probably our biggest gig. I don't know if you guys agree or not, but that's...
Yeah, it's pretty big. Big opportunity.
Yeah, big opportunity. So because there was no live performances, what they did is they took every single band into studio and recorded them live in studio. So they were all 40 independent bands, and we keep the rights to our music and our video. Those are ours. They gave those to us, as part of the contest. So part of the participation. So yeah, we're really, really grateful to Jim Beam and Canadian Music Week for doing that.
Now they invited us to play Toronto next year when they have the Canada Music Week. So cool. That's something
cool
to look forward to next year already, right?
Yes.
So that's a good.
Yeah. I already talked with a band in Toronto. If you want to hook up with them, we do doomy, metal-y stuff, kind of, but not too hard. you can check them out. Empress, we called. Anyway, I wanted to say the only thing but this is my personal thing, I dislike with these contests is, like you said, it's a competition, and for me, kind of, with music, there shouldn't be like a competition, it's kind of, I just would like to hear all the bands and that we, share the stage and share the spotlight, and so I guess you didn't, did it on purpose, but it was just an opportunity and you took it, and that's absolutely fine. But so this is just my personal insight here, that I don't like to compete, or you are better than me, or something, because music is it's a very fragile thing. Anyway, just my thoughts here.
That's what I like, is they invited all 40 bands, whether you win or lose, to play at their stage at Canadian Music Week. That's a really good thing.
Yeah. So
okay, so it's not really a competition. It's really more like a showcase of bands, kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So even all the stuff in the studio and the videos and everything, they still invite you to play on their stage.
Okay.
The only difference is the person who won gets their plane fare paid for, let's say. That's about it. And they get to record something at a metalworks studio in Toronto.
And there's a few more perks in there, but it's whatever.
Still, we get to play.
That's right.
Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, no, but then it's a very amicable competition, you could say. I mean, it's not really like you are downgraded or something. You get kind of the same attention like everyone else.
I would say yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they did a really good job of doing that. So yeah, it was fun. We watched all the other bands, all of us, just to see what our quote competition was. Enjoyed them all. Mm-hmm. So it was good. Yeah.
Okay, and I think you are assigned to a label, right? No. Okay, so I got a wrong impression. Okay, sorry. Because this would be my next question. You are, as I think, and please don't take it wrong, or be mad at me if I get it wrong. I think you are not living from music at the moment, right? You have other jobs to support yourself. Is this correct?
Music's not paying the bills. No.
No,
okay,
music's not paying the bills.
Okay. So, not yet. Let's see.
No.
Okay.
No.
So, sorry, I was wrong. I thought you had a label. Are you trying? I mean, are you actively looking for one, or are you just kind of like, if something happens, it happens?
Kind of like when it happens, it happens. Like, we hooked up with good producers and things, and get more connections as you go along. And
I guess we all just love playing so much that we've just been really open and enjoying just playing as a band. And I guess whenever something happens, we have a band chat and we go from there. So, we're seeking opportunities, open to opportunities, but not pushing for major.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, it's
music speak for itself.
So, as we are all know now, we are in kind of bad times, for live performances. So how have you used your time so far in this kind of? Did you work on new material, videos or something? I mean, what's coming for you, or how do you use this kind of where you are? We are on pause right now, right? We cannot do really much. Did you do live streams, or how did you use your time at the moment, music-wise?
Well, it's interesting because we did our EP release and then we all got put in lockdown. We were quarantined there, so we couldn't actually do much together for a while or see each other. So during that time, I think I just reflected on where I was going to go after all of this quarantine. And I don't know, it was a reflection period for me. And then when we got back together, we had a chat about it and just realized, well, let's just play while we can and keep focusing on getting our stuff on the internet, since that's kind of where it all is. And we've just been working on sets, tightening up our sets and getting into studio. We'll launch new songs on the internet. In the meantime, we've got 2 or 3 that are about to come out in the next 6 months. So we're just working on the music, just keeping at it, having fun with it. I don't know, you guys. That's how I feel about it anyway.
I don't think it's really stopped us in any ways, because we played live. We got out there and played live the odd time here or there, but that wasn't really our main focus. Our main focus was just playing music. So we play music, and that's what we've done. And the COVID has affected us, though, in the way that if you get like a cold or the sniffles or whatever, kids need to stay home from school, or you shouldn't be going out and seeing people because you don't really know if it's a cold. So we've had a couple of instances of, where we've had to socially distance for ourselves, that we haven't been able to get together, even though we're in the same bubble. This is our bubble, so.
Okay, so basically nothing big changed for you, just you cannot do any live gigs at the moment. That's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Have you done
down processes here and there?
Yeah.
Well, good thing there is some free time to do whatever you want musically. There's lots of free time for that. If you want to create a guitar solo, I have lots of time for that. Unless I want to build a theremin or a siren for a song, well, I could do that. Lots of spare time to do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
A theremin and a nice siren for one song, that. Things like that.
But have you done any online shows, or did you consider this, like a streaming show or something? Because I see you're in your studio or in your rehearsal space, and it seems like set up for you could stream from there apparently.
Well, yes and no. So we have done some Facebook Lives, and sometimes they work really well, and sometimes they don't, because we live in, we're not actually in a city in Saskatchewan, we're in the country, and so the internet is not always so reliable out here. So
it does cause a problem.
It does cause a problem, yes.
I get you.
So,
Yeah.
I'm surprised actually that we're having such good quality right here, because it hasn't been glitchy at all, which is sometimes what can happen. So
minimal it has been glitchy, but I still could get everything. But yeah, let me console you in the knowledge that even in Germany, I talked with a guy here in Germany, and in Bavaria, not far from where I am, and it was much worse than our connection. So, yeah. So I mean, let me tell you, you still have it good, but yeah, of course, I get it. I get it. You know, I don't know how I would think about this streaming thing. It's just like a how you say, a crux or something. It's not a real thing because I mean you played live and you know how it is when you play a show and there's people really moving to it and you can smell the sweat and whatever and the beer and then there is nothing and you know not even a boo or something, not even a negative emotion. You get nothing. It's really strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the same, that's for sure.
So, I mean, I saw some of your videos and they looked very homemade, let's put it this way. Was this intentional or did you not know some people who could help you out a little bit better here?
The videos?
Sorry. Yeah, I hope I didn't come across too judgmental.
No. I'm just so the videos.
Well, basically with the videos, we've just been, it hasn't been a huge focus is to have, you know, fancy videos right now. So I just go in and do random creative things. I think it's somewhat intentionally to look, I don't actually want it to look perfectly produced right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice to have that, but I like the whole like just abstract feel to it right now. But we did just do the Jim Beam thing and they did a live video of us playing Till I Die. So that's up there now. It looks a little more professional. Like we're open to it. And we also don't have a giant budget for that right now.
That's another thing,
also
I guess.
not a budget.
One thing I wanted to say before I forget, I really like your voice. It's really a standout thing, you know, with your music. So don't get me wrong, guys. The music is good, you know, but the standout piece of your band is her voice. I really was drawn to that because it was kind of anyway. You have a nice rhythm when you sing. I really like there is something in it. So sorry, just wanted to get this off before I forget.
Thanks, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, you have I don't know, you have a cool. This is kind of okay. Maybe let's stay there while I just brought it up. So what I really think is a difference between punk and grunge is that in grunge you kind of also you modulate your voice a little bit. You're more laid back. Your punk is more like you know, going up and you know, and music wise we're not so far apart, you know, but it's how you present it, you know, and how you play it, and this kind of really got me, you know. Because sound-wise, I have to say, you know, just to take us in perspective, I'm a radio DJ, so I get a lot of songs. Sound-wise, they are not the best produced, but I can clearly hear there is something there. You know, there is a little gem here, and that's why we're talking. So anyway, that's really you got a nice you got it well made. And anyway, my point was with you kind of have very punkish music, but it's not punk, that's for sure. And your voice kind of gives it the real direction it has. So I really like that. So please continue.
The people that I work with and the team that I've got going on here really helps develop that too. Like they're really open to letting me try a lot of different things, and I don't think if I could do that, I would be able to, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think this is always the most amazing thing for me, you know. To it's something very, how you say, almost sacred or holy when you find the right people where you can kind of trust in and can let yourself go. Because I've played in bands too, and I know this is sometimes it's very rare that you find exactly the same people, like-minded people, and can let go and explore things, you know, because, I mean, we're all persons and a little bit ashamed sometimes, like, I want to try this, but I don't want to, look silly or something. And it's a really, how you say, a great luck, or a great luck, is that the right word? A great thing when you find these people, it's something very special happens. And this happened here as well, so congratulations that you found each other. You were right in stealing her away from the other band, even if I don't know the other band.
You might have, I don't know. Yeah, but that's so true. Like, it's really been a big part of it. There's been nights where I've come over here and I'm comfortable enough to just try something, and I'll do it without warning to these guys. They don't even know that I'm going to do that, and they still roll with me. And I'm like, next day, I'm like, yeah, sorry about that. I might have done something. They're like, yeah, you're trying things. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, can't go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, no, this is a very important thing, what you just brought up. It's kind of, after a while, when you know each other better, then you get kind of this openness, that I remember, I'm a bass player by trade and I sing a little bit, but I remember, our guitar guy, he always brought some, I have a new song, I have a new idea. And then, it sounds awful. I thought, and then but when I realized, let's try it and let's put it together, and in the band, something else can happen, and because the other guitar player plays something different, and I as a bass player can do it differently and stuff, and then it was like, wow, what a song! But at first I was like, nah, I don't like it and stuff. So yeah, this is kind of, after a while, you build this trust, and just, okay, even if I don't like it now, let's maybe put some things to it and see where this can go. This doesn't mean that everything you bring, only, I don't want to put you down, everything you bring is gold. Sometimes you might be just a little bit off, but all in all, overall, it's just the way it's the best way for me, because this is how real organic music starts, that it starts with a spark, it starts with an idea, and then everyone contributes. And if you have no fear of, showing some fragility, this is maybe what makes grunge also a little bit differently. Grunge is very fragile. It's not the harsh punk stuff. It's more like, it's emotional. It's kind of, it gets a deeper root in it. And this and you got this quite well, and you have the perfect team to get it out of you. So congratulations of finding each other.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah,
a lot of fun.
No, I can imagine. Sorry, go ahead.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, I mean, you are musicians, and I'm a musician as well. So this is kind of people who don't really do music. They don't really know what they're missing, I would say, because I remember I had band rehearsals. I don't know what I played, but it was 2 hours of fun. It was just, I was in the zone. And I mean, today it's easier. You can record everything, you can just plug in and let a recorder, in the past it was like you had the cassette tape was finished or something. But it doesn't matter, because if you jam and if you really get into the groove, it's just, it brings you to another dimension, So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, because this is all that makes it so special, because just putting some chords together, everyone can do this, especially in these times. Let me tell you, my problems as a radio DJ, I get lots of not so good music, and because everyone on his cell phone can do music today. And does. It's really hard sometimes to sift through all this crap. But if you can really, and if you get it organically, I think this is the way to go. And anyway, I like your music, so let's.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Totally get it though, because even just trying to get our music on the internet and heard amongst all the piles and piles and piles of music, it's quite the challenge. There's just so much out there that it's like, it's quite an interesting thing. So I think that's why we're like, well, we're just gonna have fun with this because,
I think that's the best attitude anyway, because the listener, I think, can really hear if you have fun with it. If you enjoy what you're doing, it will transport into the music, even if it's a recording, live for sure, but even with a recording, with a good recording, it will be there. You can listen, you can feel the spark. There is something there, and let me tell you, it's tough. I get lots of songs and I have to sift through. I have a radio show for once a week where I play for an hour. My radio boss, he knows already because I always overtake. I overdraw my time. Is it the right word? I'm taking longer than I have. I have an hour, but the longest I ever did was 1 hour 20. But usually 5 minutes at least I overdraw my time. And then, I have time for 10 to 12 songs, depends on how long. And and I have to, what I wanted to say, sorry, I was sidetracked, is when I have to decide what I will present to the listeners out there, So it's not easy to stand out. But maybe we can talk about this because you already said in the next few months you will bring out some more music. And I think, for me, as I'm kind of in this, I don't know, influencer business or something, I don't like to see it like this, but that's the way it is, kind of. I think that's the best approach, that you every maybe 3 or 4 weeks, you send out a single, that you kind of like, bloop, we're here, we're still here, that people, because when you get followers on Spotify or wherever you release your music, and then we will get it in their stream, there's a new release and stuff. And so it's a stupid game, but unfortunately we have to play it,
Only game out there type of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of what it's coming to anyway. Albums take so long to put out, and then by then you're losing people's interest. So we kind of agreed we're just going to keep rocking out songs and song by song here, and just make sure our fans feel like they're getting something from us constantly. We'll try to just keep giving back.
Yeah, I think that's important to. I mean, as much as I hate it, it's the way you have to do it. It seems today that that you're like every few weeks you put out something, maybe even just look, this is what we're working on, and that people are still keep interest in you, So to
right, and I was going to say, and then again, it all comes down to the money thing, because it costs us money to go into studio, because we don't want to be putting out something that somebody else can do on their phone.
That's for sure.
And we record in studio, so expensive to do that. But we've got one song right now called Star Mirror, and we've recorded it already, and we're waiting to be able to go through the next step on that. And I think that it's our best work yet.
Yeah.
I think we really outdid ourselves on this one, because we like it very much.
And you mentioned before you had luck with good producers. So how did you find your producers? Or producer, if it's just
producer.
One.
He
found us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Heard our music and liked it.
He's an indie producer.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was out of LA, and he's produced some bands, and he happened to hear some of our songs.
He heard Sick and Twisted, I think is what he heard.
He wanted to produce some songs.
Yeah.
So he reached out to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
But see, this is how it should be.
That's what we say. Like we're really open to opportunities. So he approached us, and we talked about it, and we said, yep, let's go for it, and we did. And we love the songs that he produced for us.
Yeah,
so.
he's an Emmy Award-winning producer and
Wow.
nominated for Emmy Award too. So,
Yeah.
he's got some credentials.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that was really good.
Man, you should slap it on your website because yeah.
Oh yeah, it's there. It's right by the tip jar.
I see. So another question I have: who does the artwork? I mean the cover artwork. Ah, okay. So Phoenix does the artwork. I see. Yeah, a multi-talent. It seems like.
Oh. Actually, something that goes unnoticed too is really her guitar playing.
Mm-hmm.
She says she plays the piano, right? But she's knows how to transfer her musical ideas to the guitar perfectly and in her own style. And being a guitar player, I've seen lots of guitar players, and she has her own style. And it doesn't matter what she plays through, she sounds the same. It's amazing. It's like they say the guitar tone is in your fingers, and she kind of proves that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty amazing. You got to see her play guitar one day.
Yeah,
for the artwork, I do the artwork because I paint and I draw. I've been doing that my whole life. So then they just kind of said, hey, let's just use your artwork, and that saves us having to go and get all that stuff, somewhere else.
Save some money.
So again, saving money.
No, but it's also a creative control. I mean, I think it's quite good that you do it because I mean you write the songs, so you are kind of it's your babies. You know them best. So I mean even. I guess the Kings will contribute, of course, but they're still kind of conjured up in your head, and the lyrics come from you. So I think it's a perfect. I mean, if you can do it, I cannot draw. My daughter can draw better than me. I have no abilities in this direction, not at all. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a collaboration of different creative things going on here. So yeah, they help. I have an idea, and it might be really out there sometimes, but they sure do help if put it all together and work with it. Because some people wouldn't be that open to these weird ideas I get. So.
Now we already established you have.
You're the artist, right? So you are the artist. I recognize that. Right? It's like, yeah.
We seem to be very happy to have you. I think you done good here. So I mean, you're in a good no, but I like this, and for me, as a radio DJ again, it's also very important that there is some thoughtful artwork because the first thing I see is the artwork and the name, and then I hear the music. It's kind of when I get sent music, I see okay, this is your cover and this is your name, and then I have some ideas already, of course, and then I listen to it. So it's very important that this is catchy too, or maybe not catchy. That's the wrong word. You're not here doing electro pop or something, where you want to send it to some catchy mainstream stuff. What I mean is catchy in a way that it captures your attention. So, it's kind of like, I want to hear this. I want to, know what behind this, what it is, So, and here you did a good job as well. So let me say.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. So we covered the artwork. I guess, I told you in the beginning, I don't really have questions. This is a talk, not, I want to have a conversation and not an interview. But one question I always like to ask is, you have been lucky enough to be on the road and playing some gigs. So what was kind of a funny mishap or a funny story you can say from your time on the road, or anything what happened? If you want to share, I mean, only of course, share stuff you want to share.
We definitely have one very
that's
interesting experience. We were invited to play at a craft festival out of town, a couple hours from us, and they had kind of said they had sound and all this stuff, and we brought sound, but I don't know. We went out there with all our gear and all this.
We took the big amps.
We took our huge
We had
amps.
the big amps back here.
Yeah, we're ready for the festival.
We had a big stage.
Yeah, they called it a festival.
Okay. I think I know where this is going.
Well, yeah, you can.
So the sound system is basically a microphone and all the little speakers throughout the roof in the place, so it sounded really awful. And it was all little old ladies selling crafts.
Okay.
But they did have entertainment. They had Russian dancers, which was really good entertainment. And then they had us. It was so loud.
So you were a little bit miscast, I guess.
The PA system was, we chased everybody that was selling crafts. We chased them out of the building when we played.
Yeah, little old ladies were covering their ears like this while we were playing.
How did this happen?
My vocals, so that was even worse. It was bad.
How did this happen? I mean, we should have known. I mean, usually you know what kind of sound or band you get when you book them or let them play, right? I mean, how did this happen? Was this a blind date or something?
In all fairness, they really wanted us to play. They really did like our music. The girl that hosted the event, she really did have good intent. But she's brand new to sound. It's a very new festival. I think they were trying to expand to a certain crowd, but that crowd didn't really end up coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a mix up. You
have to turn on the.
I don't know. It's quite the mix up.
Mm-hmm. I would say so. Yeah. Poor old ladies. I can picture them. I know your music now, and I mean it's not. It's not heavy metal, or it's not. I don't know, not too extreme for my taste, but I'm not a little old lady who's selling craft stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was a little hall, so because we took the huge amps, so just turning it up even a little bit was just blaring loud. It was just the amps were cranked, the vocals were distorted. It was just quite the experience. We went to luck that day.
Okay, yeah.
See, Saskatchewan actually has quite the big German community and Russian community too.
Yeah.
In Saskatchewan, you'd be amazed.
Okay.
Ukrainian too.
Okay, so I should come over once this pandemic is done, and I can live there, I guess.
It's a beautiful province, actually.
Yeah, it's a really nice province. Yeah.
I have to admit, I've never been there. I mean, I lived for 2 years in Montreal, but I barely came out of the city because I was a foreigner. I had no car. I had lots of friends, and Montreal is a great city. I had once a girlfriend then there, and she took me to the countryside, to the Quebecois countryside. And there I was lost because nobody was speaking English, only Quebecois. And I think there were 2 or 3 people of her family who spoke English, and the rest I was like, okay, hey. It's, not much.
Yeah, we would be lost too, or I know I would be lost in Montreal as well too, so...
I mean, in Montreal, I guess he should know, Roland should know, there's this kind of equator going through. There's the one side is just strict in mostly English, and the other one is mostly French. But I met people in Montreal who only who were there and spoke only English, and vice versa. but most of them speak both languages.
Too, from Montreal, and I left at a very young age. Saskatchewan. Our family moved to Saskatchewan when I was at a young age, so I didn't spend my whole life in Montreal. Just very young childhood there. Just learning French, which was mandatory in the schools. Je ne comprends pas français.
Je m'appelle Tobias. Enchanté. Ah oui. But you know the Quebecois French is not that nicely like the French. You know, I mean, there's tabernacle, hostie.
Yes, you heard that when you were a kid, lots. These
tabernacle.
Oh, you know they were bad words because you see the person throwing their hammer on the ground.
and that's actually a funny thing. Sorry, we got sidetracked, but what the heck? That's a funny thing because they are not in German. There would be no swear words. You know, it's tabernacle is tabernacle. It's holy in Christus. You know, Christ. They say as a swear word, you know, an hostie. They say hostie. I don't know how you say it in English. Hostie. You know, the little shaped wafer. It's the wafer you get with the Holy Christ or whatever. The Holy Ghost. It's in it. But you eat in the Catholic Church. The wafer you get there when you get communion.
The host.
Yeah.
Huh?
The host.
The host.
We call it the host, yeah.
Okay, the host, the hostie, and that's a swear word. You know, it's really funny. For them, it's a swear word, but for us, it's nothing. And anyway, I once had a visitor from Montreal here, and we were visiting some. You know, in Germany, you had a lot of old churches, and we were a tour there. And then he was saying, und hier ist the tabernacle. And I said, tabernacle. for her, it was a swear word, but for us, it's nothing. Sorry. Just a little anecdote. Were there any incidents when you were on road or any... were there any starstruck incidents? You know, like did you ever play with someone where you were like, oh man, this I would never think would have happened?
Yet, no.
Not yet. Okay, so still working on that.
Yeah.
No, not starstruck.
No, we haven't had that quite yet.
We're waiting for that.
Okay. So let me rephrase. Let me rephrase the question. Which one, a living person? Which one would be? Where would you be a little fangirl or fanboy if you would play with them? Living person, please.
I'd have to say it would be Godsmack.
Godsmack. Okay.
That would be for me. Yeah.
What would I be?
Yeah.
Godsmack if I played with?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that would be like Frank Zappa.
Well, he's not alive.
Living person. He's not alive anymore, as far as I know.
Oh my God, Frank Zappa's dead. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it would be more like not really starstruck, but just more like, cool, this is actually happening to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like for me, I mean, there's probably a lot of bands I'd be like, sweet, this is actually happening.
Mm. Yeah, I guess you're more down to earth. You know, you just, I mean, you're very grounded persons, so you would just take it and be happy with it. But for the opportunity, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for that. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I see. So, what's in store for you next year after the pandemic hopefully subsides one day? So you will go back. Did you do a real tour, or did you just do little gigs in your area? Did you already do a little tour or something?
No, we've just done little gigs in the area. So that would be, we'd like to do a couple of mini tours in Saskatchewan, then kind of branch out into the provinces beside us, kind of, build as we go along. But we do have our Montreal gig in hopefully
Toronto again.
in Toronto. Yeah, sorry, Toronto.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other Montreal. It's almost the same. No, it's not the same.
Out east. We have that gig out east.
Mhm. Out east, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto is a nice city too. That's true. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of finished, and for me it's dinner time, so I'm getting hungry. But is there something you want to share with the world? Some closing words for the audience out there? Some wisdom you want to share with them?
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, there's so much material. There's so much good material that the world could be listening to right now. You know, if we keep it's endless. We'll always have something good happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's the wisdom?
Keep it real.
Keep
Yeah,
it real.
keep it real. There's yeah.
Real.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be real.
No, but actually, I mean, I was laughing, but you're actually right. I mean, we talked about this. It's, you know, I think honestly, you know, all these mega stars and stuff, sometimes I don't get it because they're so plastic, they're so fake and stuff. And for me, I like the underground. I like, you know, the real thing. I like the sweat and the tears and stuff, you know, the real emotions. And so okay. That sounded like a cool statement, but it's actually a quite deep statement if you take it for real. So yeah, let's close. Okay. I think I should go. Maybe I get hello. Let's time for my supper. You want to talk with them again?
No.
No. Okay, good. So say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for your time. It was fun.